Greetings, children. In our Tier 2 syllabus, we were about to start Unit D. The chapter name is Fractions 1. I have divided this chapter into two parts. This is the first part of those two parts. And in this part, the first part of Unit D, we are going to discuss only the theory part of the chapter. In the second part, we are going to discuss the problems and their solutions. This is for class 6. The subject is mathematics. I am Sivasis Sandilya and I welcome you to today's class. So, what are fractions? A fraction is a number which represents a part of the whole. You order a pizza, you take out a slice, that slice of the pizza is a part of the whole pizza. So, that slice can be represented as a fraction of the whole pizza. The whole may be a single object or a group of objects. Now, let us say there are 35 students in your class. If I select randomly 5 students, then out of the whole, which is a group of objects, that is a group of students, I have selected a handful, that is 5 students. Now that 5 students can be represented as a fraction of the whole classroom. That means a group of students. So once again, a fraction is a number which represents a part of the whole. The whole may be a single object or a group of objects. The number below the division line is called denominator and the number above the division line is called the numerator. This much we have already learned in our previous classes. The denominator shows in how many equal parts the whole is divided, and the numerator shows how many parts are being considered. For example, again, let us say I have a pizza. I have divided the pizza into 4 equal parts and I have eaten one piece. That means what is the fraction of the whole pizza that I have eaten? 1 by 4. So here the numerator is 1 and the denominator is 4. That 4, the denominator, represents how many equal parts the whole pizza has been divided into. And the 1, that is the numerator, represents how many parts I have eaten. So if you need more time, pause the video, read this once again. You also have your books with you. You can also skip the video and read from your books. Now let us consider equivalent fractions. So what are equivalent fractions? Let me tell you another example of the same pizza. Now I have done? I have divided the whole pizza into 8 equal parts and I have eaten 2 pieces. Then I have eaten what fraction of the pizza? 2 by 8. Again, let us consider I have a whole pizza and I have divided the pizza into 4 equal parts and I have eaten 1 piece. Then what is the fraction that I have eaten? 1 by 4. Now, if you compare the size of 1 piece out of 4 pieces and the size of 2 pieces out of 8 pieces, you will see that I have actually eaten exactly the same amount of pizza in both the cases. So now, pay attention. On the screen it is written 2 fractions which give the same value on reducing to their lowest terms are called equivalent fractions. For example, 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 4 by 8, 8 by 16 are equivalent fractions as on reducing to the lowest terms they all give 1 by 2. See, 4 by 8, if you cancel the numerator and denominator by 4, you will get 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 and 4 by 8 are equivalent fractions. Now if you want to represent this in a diagrammatic way, look at the 4 circles given on the screen. In the first one, half means one part if I divide the circle into two parts. In the second circle, 2 by 4, if I divide the circle into 4 parts and consider only 2 parts, then that is exactly the same amount of circle as represented by 1 by 2. In the same way, 4 by 8 and 8 by 16 also. Pause the video if you need more time. If you still have doubts, please contact me. Now, reducing fractions. A fraction reduced to its lowest terms is equivalent to the original one. So, if we have a fraction and we are reducing it to the lowest terms, then the lowest term fraction and the original fraction are both equivalent fractions. Here is an example given, 3 by 9. If we cancel out the numerator and denominator by 3, we will get 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 and 3 by 9 are equivalent fractions. Now, how do we compare fractions using cross multiplication? This method also you have already learned in your previous classes. This is just a brush up session, but I am repeating, if you still have doubt, please contact me, okay? Don't keep any doubts in your mind. Please contact me. Let me help you out if you have not understood it in your previous classes. Because if you don't understand anything in this video, then it will be difficult for you to understand this next video. So please, if you have any doubts, please contact me. Now, look at the screen. If a by b and c by d are two fractions and a into d is equal to b into c, then we can say a by b and c by d are equivalent fractions. If AD is greater than BC, then A by B is greater than C by D. To compare mixed fractions, convert them into improper fraction and follow the same procedure. Just remember this, if A into D is equal to B into C, then the fractions are equal. If A into D is greater than B into C, then the first fraction is bigger than the second one, and it is not written here, but it is already implied that if AD is smaller than BC, then the first fraction is smaller than the second one. Now, finding equivalent fractions. We have already learned that the one example is given, 1 by 2. If we multiply the numerator and denominator of 1 by 2 by any natural number, let us say 5, multiplying 1 by 2 both numerator and denominator by 5, 1 into 5, the new numerator is 5, and 2 into 5, the new numerator is 10. So the new fraction is 5 by 10. Now we can say that 5 by 10 is an equivalent fraction of 1 by 2. For complicated sums, look at the screen. For complicated sums, change the given fraction to its lowest term, then find the multiplying or dividing factor to get the equivalent fraction. If you have any doubt in this part, feel free to contact me, but I am sure once we do the second part of the video, that means the second part of this chapter's video, once we do the problems, it will be very clear and very easily understandable for you all. So this brings us to the end of today's class. I hope everyone understood everything properly. If you still have doubt, please contact me, okay? If you didn't understand any part of this video, it will be difficult for you to understand the next video. So please contact me if you have any doubt. In our next class, we are going to discuss Unit D modules. We are going to solve all the modules in the next video. So stay tuned and stay ready. And please note, revise carefully several times. Revise all the things that I have already taught you repeatedly. Then only it will be easier for you to score good marks in your mathematics exam. With this note, I am Sivasis Sandilya signing out. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. Hope you have a nice day ahead.